you see that?
Yeah, it was a pretty cool kickflip.
Welcome to the raddest video game tech deck podcast on the internet. That's all we talk about.
Tech deck podcast. We could get some run out of that. I think,
do you keep your trucks loose? Do you tighten them up?
I keep mine loose.
Okay.
That's kind of my style.
There was kids in my elementary school who would keep them loose, and I could never.
That's how you turn those tight corners.
You flip harder.
Yeah.
That there, but you flip harder with tighter trucks. So
that about covers tech decks.
So thank you.
Thank
you for watching, and that has been the podcast. Just kidding. Welcome. I am your host, DweeBros, aka Zach, aka Tech Deck King.
Yeah.
We're joined by Travis.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome to the show.
So we talk about more than tech decks. We talk about more than video games. We delve into the world of TV shows, movies, video game culture, and more.
Is it safe to say we're video game culture experts?
I would put us tech deck experts. We're definitely tech deck influencers, and then I would say video games right under that. Close.
Okay. We got some work still to do. I'm sorry we've been really focusing on the tech deck thing on the channel lately. We did a whole show about tech decks.
I'm gonna start doing hangouts for tech decks, and for the hour that we play.
And you could have other people bring their tech decks and play with you.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Might be onto something.
It was only... there's been a weird shift. There was a time when making tech deck videos were you would just laugh at those videos on YouTube. There was kids that would just do tech deck tricks to Linkin Park music, and those were funny.
That's old YouTube. That's old school.
I'm on TikTok. Welcome. Hello, old kid. What up, kids? I'm on TikTok as an older male, but...
So where are we going here?
So where I'm going is, I was swiping through, and there was a video of somebody doing tech deck tricks, and it was people were liking it.
It was cool again.
And it was more like, oh, this is cool now.
Yeah, if you hang on to something, if you get good at something that's no longer cool, and just hang on to it. It'll get... D&D, tech decks. I mean, there's just things that become not cool.
What is the least cool thing? Put in the comments, what's the least cool thing you could be doing? Is it the floss? To me, I do that ironically, but I think the floss is out.
Yeah, the floss is out at this point. I think it's been out since whatever the frick his name is, Ninja, tried to get all of Times Square to do it, and they all just stared at him.
Yeah, I think it was too late.
I think that was the moment that died.
It died.
I mean, definitely dabbing is on its way out. It's still a meme.
I like to floss, ironically, especially around my nephew. Because that just kills the mood right there. Because especially when you're trying not to, he's trying to around the girlfriend.
What used to be cool, now it's really cool to either hate or just say, I want nothing to do with it. I mean...
I will say something of people, Gen Z and coming up, hey, I'm watching you guys, listen. They like to say that's so cringe. Now, my understanding of cringe is those kids that get up during Minecraft Con or BlizzCon, WoW, World of Warcraft, and I have a question, the nerdiest guy, and it's oh, you just want to die. That to me is cringe. Or people just saying bad things on news, and oh, I can't believe they said that. But cringe is everything. I've heard
cringe has lost all meaning.
People, and they're that's so cringe. It's really, you just have to be a genuine human being for a second. Yeah, that's so cringe that you have to be nice. That's so cringe. I'm so sorry. So, this is the old folks podcast. But listen, don't say everything's cringe. I want you to. I think those kids are going to get into an actual cringe situation at their school presentation. They're going to go,
and then they don't have a word.
Yeah, then they've ruined the word. So don't run the word.
You're ruining the word cringe, and we're ruining our audience, because I think the other people that watch this, you probably are saying, we're being cringe. So
I did a tech deck trick, and I said, Gen Z, listen.
That was pretty cringe.
Yeah, so we're going to actually come out of cringe.
While we're on the topic of Gen Z, I tweeted about this yesterday. How do we get a public service announcement out that kids in college and high school right now are not millennials? Because
I saw you post something on Twitter about that.
They keep calling kids millennials.
Yeah.
I saw a magazine the other day, which that is the most cringe thing. Magazines.
But
it was a magazine, and they had some sports player on it who's a freshman in college. And it said millennial man. And I was like... He's not a millennial. The world, everybody 30 and up for some reason doesn't understand. I know it's a broad generalization, but I am being broad. Doesn't understand that that there's a different generation. So
that's definitely something.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
That's definitely something I see, and it's like no,
we keep getting blamed for the crap you guys do.
Exactly. You brought on the floss.
Yeah.
You know what we brought on? iPod. Apple Watch. MacBook Pro, baby. Yeah. So we have actually better stuff. So thank you to millennials.
Yeah.
And Gen Z,
I mean,
you're on a good path.
Gen Z, you're cool, except for when you flake out of plans. I don't know. It's a thing with Gen Z. Y'all flake out. Don't flake out so much. It's really cringe when you flake out.
Hey, put your phone down. I'm going to put a picture of myself on the phone. Maybe you'll see it. Maybe you'll see me. Maybe you'll look at me. My mom keeps saying, you're going to look up from that phone and I'm going to be dead. Like, that's what she keeps saying.
Yo,
all the time.
We have to stop. Whatever you call them, baby boomers, Gen X.
Yeah,
they complain about people on their phones,
and they're the ones on it a lot.
They're on it the most, and they're playing God knows what Farmville
Crash. 3,
yeah, like
Farm Crash. That's when the crash happens to Farmville.
Oh my God! And they're just selling chickens on their Facebook, and I think they're the worst with their phones, to be truthful with you.
Yeah.
So
you know what? We've crapped on baby boomers, Gen X, and Gen Z. Millennials are perfect.
Yeah, pretty damn close.
Yeah.
You know, but some of them got a little weird, you know. They're like hanging on to those young years into their 30s, you know.
I went to this would make me feel really old, my 10-year high school reunion.
Yeah.
And I was doing the floss ironic. I was like, hey, check this out. I'm going to dance tonight or whatever. I started doing that. And I'm going to do the floss or whatever. And I had multiple people who were like, what is that dance or whatever? I went, oh, God.
Yeah,
and I was like, maybe I need to get back with my tribe. Because I was like, I knew all this stuff that
they just don't know.
They don't know. And I was like, wow, now I feel really old. So, but...
We're more aware for younger millennials. I feel like there's a lot of millennials who are not aware of stuff.
I was hearing too. I was with a group of people and they were saying, "Yeah, I was around, a group of teenagers or whatever, my family, whatever, and they were using words I don't know about or whatever, and they were telling me like bet. That's one I keep hearing. Like they keep saying bet." Basically saying,
what?
Like, oh, I'm going to do that. Have you heard this?
Yeah, well, I know what that is, but why are they couldn't piece that together?
They couldn't
crack that code.
Yeah. But there's certain things, and I was just like, man, I feel like I'm still in with the Gen Z kids.
Well, I think it's because we're on Twitter, we're on Tumblr, we're on YouTube. We pay attention to what's going on.
I'm starting, though, to feel at times, even though I am caught up on the lingo, I'm caught up on that, I feel a little bit like Steve Buscemi in that meme. Have you seen that meme where he he's like, hello, how are you doing, fellow kids? Yeah. I feel like that. Sometimes it's like, but...
I don't even try to keep up. I'm on Twitter a lot.
I'm on Twitter. If you're on Twitter,
I'm on Twitter and I laugh at a lot of what I see. Yeah. And a lot of it's from some goofy kids, man. Some really angry older people. The older you are on Twitter, the angrier you are. It's this weird thing I can't really understand. The younger you are, the less a shit you give about any of it, and then the older you are, the more irrationally angry you are.
I will agree with that.
Increasingly trivial things.
Yeah, I'll agree with that
and the angriest man on Twitter is Luke Skywalker himself, Mark Hamill. He's just always angry. He's always tweeting about everything.
Shatner is the maddest. I think he's the maddest guy.
I think Luke Skywalker give him a run for his money, but they're both from Star Wars, Star Trek. These are supposed to be shows about becoming a hero and
about
peace
space
on
changes
Earth.
You.
Yeah, they lose their mind.
Yeah.
If you're old and you're on Twitter, you're angry increasingly.
Yeah, if you're on a space-related movie or TV show, you're freaking
And
pissed.
the kids are just, tweeting about, like, aliens twerking and, it's something
about space is shooting these guys to the moon.
So, but I think the guy that's owning Twitter the best, the dude who owns it the best right now is Lil Nas X.
Lil Nas X.
He's just in there, man.
I don't follow him.
He's freaking hilarious. He's just like posting weird clips of his songs to like aliens twerking, or he was posted something last night. It was like his song all distorted and blown out, and it was like what's that Bohemian Grove? Like somebody videotaping Bohemian Grove.
Yeah.
And he's just like putting his music to it. It's just funny stuff, man. Yeah. So I don't know. It just just if you're on Twitter, chill out a little bit. Don't need to be so angry. Don't take us all so seriously.
Don't take it all so seriously. That would be my. You know what? I'm going to give advice. This has become a millennial podcast.
I got to tell you something. Excuse the words, but it was directed at me, so I feel like I can say it. I was called. I laughed out loud. I fully become one with being at peace on the internet because something like this gets said to me, and I just laugh. I got called. Some guy called me a pussy on Twitter because I said something about like a football player hit another player with his helmet, and he's going to get suspended. Now he did get suspended, and I was just writing like, this guy should not be in the game. This guy writes to me and calls me that, and I just started laughing. I'm like, who are you? Like, what are you talking about? And he said, well, I called you that because of your hat. I look at my picture. My hat is backwards, and so I'm just like. That crazy thing the kids are doing that they're wearing a backwards hat. Like, I don't know, man. There's some weird people out there, and I love it. I'm here for it.
It's funny when this stuff happens, or we could go on and on about comments directed towards us.
It was an old man that wrote that to me. And he was very angry, and he called me that, and he said my hat.
Millennials and Gen Z calling that is kind of like, okay, but like a boomer is really funny. But we could do a whole podcast on stuff that directed towards us, of reaction stuff. We've got comments, but it's just so funny. I can't think of a time when I like went out of my way to be like, you're an idiot, or like I can't think. Maybe when I was younger, I don't even know though. Like I can't.
I don't know. I feel like that kind of stuff happened more on forums. Yeah. And I don't think I was ever. At two places, maybe when I was younger. On forums, I would get in arguments with people because I'm a little argumentative.
That's true.
If I think I got a point, I want to get in there. I want to get my point in. I want to prove somebody wrong. But forums, I would do some of that. I think I was the worst over video game chat. Gears of War in 2007, you did not want to be playing with Travis. I'm just telling you right now. Everything we called each other, everything in the book, we'd get in that chat with the lobby before the game started where you could talk to everybody, which I still don't play any games that have that, but those lobbies were filthy and trash, and that was probably the most I ever. But like on Twitter, I mean, I didn't grow up with it, so I don't know what I would have been doing.
The farthest I go is if a company is doing something weird, and maybe we can go straight into it. We can get into video game stuff, but Doom Eternal.
Oh, yeah.
Doom Eternal was something I think our group of friends, people we've seen in the Hangouts, very excited about.
Yeah, and I love the Doom 2016. That's
Alex's like main game. Is like he was a fan of those originals. He got me onto the originals, and this new one blew me away.
It looks great.
The 2016 one. And then they showed the new one. It has the sword. It has grappling.
Yeah.
I was so in. And then details started coming out, which I didn't believe at first. I actually had to go through 2 trials of this. But
when you read them, it feels so foreign.
They came out and said that there's no deathmatch. There's only kind of a demon mode where you fight 2 demons, and you're, the Doom guy, and you fight the 2 demons. And online, you play like somebody gets to be the demons, and you're whatever.
It's like a monster.
And that's it.
That's the only multiplayer.
All they have. And when I read that, something like, repressed memory kind of thing, I just shut it out of my head. And then later I was like, did that happen? And I had to look it up, and twice. So I read about it twice. There are no deathmatch. I had to tell some of our friends multiple times.
Yeah.
Like, there's no deathmatch. I don't know what that means. Like, we couldn't compute that because the deathmatch, that was Doom original. You know what I mean? And then Doom 2016, it was amazing. So much fun because it was like, Twitch, very fast shooting, and you had to be, get good at that. And then they came out with this reasoning of, it was a
reasoning.
Twitch. It was a Twitch shooter, and that just sucks because if you're not good at this, you die.
Well, let me elaborate. Like, I read the full quotes last night for the first time because I knew they weren't going to have multiplayer, and I was really bummed about that. Yeah. We played the 2016 one together, played the campaign, and we played the multiplayer a lot. If anything, it wasn't old school enough, the old multiplayer. They need to just have weapon pickups. Do a straight up old school. I mean, it's literally the easiest thing to make. You don't have to go and recreate the wheel and make this weird monster mode, or have both.
Because couldn't you summon a demon with one of the perk things?
Yeah, it was like an Overwatch type like ability, and you could. But the problem is when you really read the quotes, it's so telling, and it starts to degrade the overall game of like, if this is their vision. So what they said is the Marty Stratton guy, I think. Then there's that Hugo guy, and they're very popular. People love them. They were in the No Clip documentary. They seemed really likable. I'm sure that they're likable guys who are just doing their job. Who knows who's giving the marching orders here? But they are just their quote was unbelievable. I couldn't believe what I was reading. It was basically, old multiplayer in Doom 2016, the reality was, if you're fighting somebody, it's only aiming and shooting. That's what they said. They said it's just aiming and shooting. So if the other guy aims and shoots better than you, you'll die every time, and there's nothing you can do about it. So it's not, number one, I have a disagreement immediately, but there's nothing you can do about it. So it won't be something people want to play.
Yeah.
Number one, what the hell is this industry built on? Like, how many games have had that? And you play, and there's somebody better than you, and there's somebody worse than you, and you're somewhere in the middle, and you have fun. Like, that is every freaking game ever. You are not Socrates. You're not solving multiplayer by saying, we're going to get rid of this because we're going to do this other thing. What's going to happen now? Because then he said, now with this new thing, you only have 3 people, and we can have something we've never had, which is metas. And I wanted to say, do you even know what a meta is? A meta is, this is better than this because this outclasses that. You want to be going for that. Doom 2016 had metas. Halo has a meta. You want the shotgun and the sniper or the rocket launcher. You know it spawns right here. You know that if you've got a battle rifle, you're going to want to pair with some kind of an energy weapon so you can take out their shield and their... This is the most asinine thing I have ever freaking heard. That one, it just devolves as he's explaining it, and then he says some of the even dumber crap, which is that you can't do anything if somebody's better than you. Listen.
You can get better.
I have single-handedly seen myself get immensely better at Destiny 2 multiplayer in the last 3 months. I went from terrible. I played a ton of the competitive, and I grinded up and got the pinnacle weapons. We have to get to 2100 glory, and it's really difficult.
Well, and you learned to play better.
And I had to get better. I had to learn the maps. I had to learn, okay, I need to go for headshots. I should be using a pulse rifle. I'm going to throw my auto rifle away. I learned. The idea
it's crazy that this is coming from Doom.
This is the creative director of Doom saying, that guy's better than you and there's just nothing you're going to be able to do about it.
It's weird.
It's a weird. And so then they start talking about how they're going to have boosters and microtransactions and skins that you can pay for with your own money. And they're saying it's just to give you these options. It's just to make it available to you. I have never seen a game that embraces those, that does not bleed into the design of the game. So you're going to have the ability of boosters, and I'm going to be playing the campaign. How is this going to affect the campaign? In Doom 2016, you could unlock, you grab those little action figures, you unlock different skins or whatever you did, and it was in the game. Now all that stuff's going to be stuff, I'll pay $5 for this, or I'll buy a booster that increases my chance of seeing this. Listen, respect us, right? Be Destiny and be a live game, or be Doom and be really successful at what they did last time. They're trying to ride the fence, it's going to split them in half. I just think this game is going to have issues. I don't know. The campaign might be
I'm
really
looking at these
well
articles
designed,
and I'm like, this is going to be the next Twitter storm people are going to freak out about. And it's like we're seeing it coming from a mile away. Like,
and these are guys who just 3 years ago were so in the pocket. They said everybody else in the industry is doing X, Y, Z, ABC. We're Doom. We're not doing all that crap. And they succeeded. But their big buzzword is player retention. You know what? If you want to retain players...
what happened? I think it was... I don't know if it was publisher involved. I don't know if they saw that money that was on the table.
Bethesda in general has got a lot of weird stuff going on.
This generation, they've really crapped the bed, honestly, with everything they've done. But... what happened to me when I saw this, I was like, okay, I'll wait till... they add deathmatch. I won't get it day one.
They have to add it. There's no way.
But now that I've seen this, and once I saw microtransactions, I was just like, maybe $20 my price, maybe not, maybe zero. Maybe I just don't get it. I don't know. I'm gonna ride out the storm and see. I'm gonna watch from afar.
We were all day one players, and they have needlessly.
So those are the certain times where I tweeted at when the Shenmue thing happened, Shenmue 3, when they said, this is an Epic Game Store exclusive now. It's like, no, that's not what people funded for. You're an idiot. You tried to get past this. You know what I mean? Like, they knew people were going to be mad, and I tweeted at the main guy, was like, hey, this sucks. That's all I usually say, and I tweet the article, and I go, hey, this sucks. Same thing with Doom Eternal. I tweeted, but that's whatever. I don't even know if I'm doing anything. Maybe I'm collecting, I'm a part of this angry storm, But that's the times where it's like, as much as we celebrate games and developers and stuff, it's like, nope, you suck, and we have to let that be known. So those are the times you will see me tweet angrily at stuff when There's no way around it. This is not good.
I should have known when it wasn't called Doom 2 and it was called Doom Eternal. Every time Halo Infinite, Doom, whenever they throw these living forever things on there, you never
anything
know.
that's living forever ain't.
I don't know. I still hope the campaign's good. Right now I've gone from a day one to I'll check it out later, check it out on sale, maybe around Christmas to I'm off of it.
Yeah.
If the campaign comes out and the campaign, if people are like, it is everything you want and more, but then there's these other issues, I'll look at it in 2020.
Yeah.
I'll look at it when the next generation launches and there's a lull, because that's going to happen in 2020.
Yeah.
I'm looking a year from now maybe. But right now there's other things I'm more interested in. We just that's our next thing is we got The Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
We got Last of Us 2 date.
No room for microtransactions when you get a company saying there isn't going to be any multiplayer, not because we're trying to screw you over, but because, hey, we've put all those resources into single player, and the multiplayer is going to come later. They did say, hey, multiplayer is coming later, but we've actually put all our resources into that. And that's Last of Us 2. We got a release date, February 21st, 2020. Why did you do that? February 20th, 2020, you could have done it. I think it's a Friday is why they did it. It was 21st. Because I was looking, I was like, you could have had 02, 2020.
Yeah.
Only zeros and twos. They knew that'd bother me.
They just did it to bother you specifically.
It's the freaking Fireflies. But I actually, when I watched, so it was the State of Play is how we found out about this, and they showed some other stuff.
Did you watch the trailer in the State of Play?
So that's what I was going to say. Let's talk about the State of Play and we'll get back to Last of Us. So they showed a game called Humanity. Did you see any of this or whatever?
I watched it kind of in passing. I saw the Humanity. It looked like people,
There's
little
a crowd simulation puzzle type game thing. That looked nuts. That looked kind of fun. I want to check that out.
The soundtrack was cool.
They announced the new game. I think they announced it, but they gave a release date. It's coming out 2020. Watam? It's from the developers of Katamari Damacy.
Oh, I never played those, so I just kind of was like, okay.
Yeah, I love that aesthetic and the music in those games and what you're doing. Katamari, you're pushing around this ball, getting stuff bigger. So this looks like that, but you're just holding onto hands of random objects and growing and stuff. I'm in all that stuff, so I love everything that developer does. So that, and then they showed more Call of Duty. It's Call of Duty, and then we finally got to creme de la creme. We got to The Last of Us, but I did not watch it. I kind of put it, in another tab because I know we were close. They were rumored to be in 2020. I was like, I think this is close, and I did see the release date. Boom, 2020. But I feel like I only watch first gameplay clips of games to get kind of the feel of where we're going. Mm-hmm. I did that with Death Stranding. I haven't seen any else of Death Stranding since, and it's like. Are you similar in that, or do you watch a little? I think you watch a little bit more.
I think I'm different than you.
Yeah, you watch a little bit more than I do.
What I do is.
Did you watch this newest one?
Yeah. Okay. So what I do is watching some of the stuff even closer to we're getting more details.
Yeah.
I like to see it because it just helps build my hype, right? Yeah. The thing that sold me on Metal Gear Solid 5 was that first trailer, and I had never played a Metal Gear Solid game. It was very formative for me. I never played a Metal Gear Solid game in my life. I watched that trailer with the whale and them riding on the horses in the woods and all this crazy stuff. A lot of it being in the first hour of the game and the last 10 minutes of the game. But all this awesome stuff in the trailer, and I was so blown away by what I was seeing. I was like, I'm going to stop everything I have. I'm going to buy a PS3, and I'm going to play the collection. I'm going to play this entire series, and I did.
Yeah.
And so I did all that, and so theoretically you'd think, well, I was sold. I played 5 freaking games. You remember, I played 5 freaking games. I watched the trailers. I knew everything that was... I should have known everything I needed to know, but... 2 weeks out, they did hey, here's the forward operating base. Here's some multiplayer gameplay.
Yeah.
Here's some of this, and I would turn it on. I'd watch a little bit just to be like, man, this looks so good, man. So this is really similar.
Yeah.
I've been sold since the first freaking 8 trailers. Yeah. But they did it. They did a 40-minute gameplay thing. Watch the first 6 minutes of it, and I was like, okay, cool. I get what the gameplay kind of is for this element of it.
Funny.
And then really with this game they've released with Death Stranding. They've released way more and that I haven't kept up with. But I'll poke my head in certain things. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool, and then I'll pop back out. Last of Us. They've only shown 2 things, I watched
They showed the initial thing where she was on the guitar and Joel comes up.
Oh, they've done 3 things.
That's the first thing. The second thing was at E3.
Yeah.
and then they were quiet for a while, and they finally came out of their quiet phase.
Yeah.
So this was like their big reveal.
And I'm glad I watched this because I'm gonna be really honest with you. Last of Us, I played it in an interesting time where I played Uncharted 1, 2, and 3 remastered.
Yeah.
Back to back to back. And my opinions were Uncharted 1, C.
Yeah.
Uncharted 2, C+. That game did not really grip me. Uncharted 3 I thought was like a B. Like, I thought they got better and better, but I loved none of them. And then I started Last of Us, and I played the first chapter, which takes place in Boston or whatever. Yeah. I hate it. I did not get it. I did not like the game. I didn't like anything about it. I didn't like the vibe. I just was not liking it whatsoever. I put it down for like 3 months, and you guys just kept talking about Last of Us. I was like, okay. So then I picked it up again, and I plowed through it in a weekend, and then I was like, okay, that game is very good. It's the best of those that I played. I gave it like a solid A in the end. Yeah. But I did not agree with it. So this whole time they're showing Last of Us 2 and I'm like,
yeah, do you want to go in another
I'm like I don't really know. Like Last of Us 1 really, it didn't grip me right from the start. I wound up really liking it, but I was like, I feel like we had a complete story. I trust Naughty Dog as storytellers, but I was like, I don't really know. And so even like these earlier things they've shown, I was like, okay, Ellie is, she's got some kind of a girl that she's interested in. Okay, cool. The gameplay looks the same. You're kind of sneaking around and crafting and stabbing people. There was a cool trailer with like that other girl who we don't know who she is earlier. But I was just like, I don't really know. Like when the director comes out and says, this is a game about hate. And I'm just like... Man, you got me on the edge of my seat. Yeah. Like, I love hate. Like, nobody's like, I love hate.
I love hate.
So I just haven't really been sold. But this latest trailer, and it could be one of two ways. I won't get into the details. They paint a very clear picture of elements you've seen already. Just people you've seen in the trailers and Ellie and where she might be at, where she might not be at. Mm-hmm. They kind of pull them together and are like, this is what we're telling you, the impetus, like the start, this is the launch point. This is why, what, who, where, when. And I saw that, and there's one of two ways it could go. They could be being honest, and if they're honest, I'm very excited about that direction. They could also be lying sacks of crap and be totally misdirecting you because that also happens all the time. Yeah. And so I will say this: if this is on the nose of what is the startup, it kind of is a little spoilery. Like it reveals like
pretty big stuff,
a pretty big thing.
Oh wow!
I would say for what we've been introduced to about the game, there's some character stuff in this that I'm like, oh. Okay, then that's kind of what's happening with whatever person. So, I mean, I don't know if they're being honest or not. And so, but to me, that mystery now, knowing that, I'm in, I'm excited.
Sure. You needed a little bit, you needed to see some more.
I needed to see more, whereas for you didn't need to see crap.
I think I finally put to rest any, for me personally, because I love Last of Us, I love all of Naughty Dog games. They're one of my favorite developers. But when they first announced this, I was like, crap. I was in the same boat when they announced Uncharted 4. I was like, we don't freaking need another Uncharted.
And Uncharted 4,
incredible.
Yeah.
It was so good.
That series got better and better and better.
And by the time Uncharted 4 ended, it was like, I'm glad this came out. I'm glad that this happened, and I trust them. So then Last of Us 2 is like, I was the same, why do we need another one? The first one ended, so good. It felt like it was a complete thing. And they did something during E3 once they announced it, and they immediately kind of calm those fears of like, hey, we tried other characters, we tried this other thing, we tried to whatever. We went back to Joel and Ellie's story and all this stuff. And now, from that first thing we saw, so the only impressions I've heard, I've seen people on Twitter and stuff was saying, because I saw that first thing. Like I said, I always watch the first thing. So when they showed that at E3, like kind of the moving around, it kind of looked like pre-render. You're like, this is going to get downgraded.
It looked too good.
So then impressions are coming out, and they're like, kind of looks the same, maybe better. And I'm like, oh god.
The gameplay in this trailer looks right on par with what we saw.
And I also heard it's aiming towards PS4 Pro, PS4, not PS4 Pro. Jacob's here.
Wow, that was quick.
He heard we were talking about Last of Us, and he had, he was so in love with the graphics of Uncharted.
I decided to actually show up.
That you had to talk about this. Yeah. So did you, try not to spoil me, but did you watch the Last of Us 2?
I did.
Stuff?
You have not?
I have not.
Watch it.
I didn't watch it.
What a ball buster.
I know.
Are you serious?
Because I've been like tiptoeing around.
How do you tiptoe around that?
Well, I just said, look, I can't say specifics or anything, but I don't know if they're being honest or not, but it looks really good.
It does.
So without spoiling, are you in or are you out?
I'm in because of the name alone. That was a no-brainer.
Oh, because Naughty Dog, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Naughty Dog and Last of Us.
Yeah.
You put those two together, I'm going to buy whatever you throw at me. I almost bought the LA edition, but they were sold out. But I have my own opinion. Can't say it.
Sounds not overly positive.
But I have an opinion. But at the end of the day, like, we're going to see when the game comes out.
Can you vague say, like, are you not on board with what they showed, or like where the story's going?
I'm on board with the story.
Okay.
I'm not on board with the gameplay.
Okay.
Interesting.
I'm worried I'm going to get the same thing I just played.
Well, did you watch the gameplay reveal?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, it is.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that...
So do you not want more of what
I just like
Last of Us 1 was?
I like Last of Us 1. I just like it when you get a sequel to have added on things. Like, just... And
again,
again,
I think that might come. Like, every Uncharted had something new or some kind of twist to it, or a little...
If Uncharted is a template, it didn't, like, evolve massively from game to
1
game.
to 2, I heard was like one
It's
of
the same gameplay.
Oh my gosh,
the
yeah.
story. What stepped up each time was the story and the production, not the gameplay. The gameplay was basically the same for
But I have
everyone.
a feeling there's going to be a new element, like a new gameplay that we maybe have not seen.
If let me ask you this:
maybe they're holding that
if
to
the crafting is the same, same materials, you make the same things, and the gunplay is the same guns, maybe a new gun, would that be disappointing to you?
No.
Or you are truly, they could one for one.
Yes.
Okay.
I was different.
We're on different pages.
I heard people, people
and
didn't
I think
like
you're
that.
looking for like a God of War, like give you something brand new.
I'm not looking for like a brand spanking new, but I didn't like the crafting system in Last of Us, the first one. I did not like that at all. I thought it was kind of dumb. Because it brought out the perfectionist in me. And I want to play the story. I don't want to run around opening cabinets and everything, collecting enough rags to make healing. I wasn't a fan of that, and I wasn't a fan of the gunplay.
Okay. Yeah, I get
So you
that.
didn't like the game, like the gameplay.
No, I loved the story. I loved the stealth aspect of it. I loved like everything, the character development. There wasn't a ton of room for gunplay. Like it really wasn't.
I'll tell you this. The one thing that did improve from Uncharted to Uncharted was the actual gun feel. Like the gun mechanic feel did get better and better. So,
and again, I don't think they didn't give us any like semi-automatics. They didn't give us any of that stuff. It was just pistol work. I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly.
mostly, yeah.
I'm gonna go back. So PlayStation Plus.
There was like a rifle at one point.
They given us Last of Us Remastered for free.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna go back and play it. Like now that it's for free.
Yeah.
Because I don't.
I'm gonna secure it. That's for darn sure.
Yeah. That's a no-brainer to me. So I will go ahead and grab it and play it.
I might play through that and see if Jess wants to watch me play it.
Oh gosh.
That's what I did with my wife. Like she sat and watched it, and she was like, "I love this movie."
movie.
She watched it as a movie, and I played the hard.
I'm excited, nonetheless, just because again the words "Last of Us" and Naughty Dog, I will buy what they give me. I do love the franchise. I do love the story that much. I'm a very story-driven guy, so at the end of the day, gameplay could be absolute but if the story's all there, I can get over it.
Yeah.
And I liked the gameplay. I liked throwing bricks. I did everything sneaking wise, so I threw bricks and
Same here.
threw glasses and kind of snuck around. And I liked that because I got really like anxious with the infected and all that stuff. I tried to like
the part that
sneak
bugged me the
around.
most was that it caused the game to be pretty mundane and slow, when in terms of gameplay.
Uh-huh.
There wasn't moments I'm either like I'm gonna sprint really fast past this guy while crouched, or I'm gonna throw bricks until the dude gets far enough for me to go around.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I do like moments when it gets kind of hot and hairy, and I kind of wanted to get hot and hairy.
Yeah.
It didn't happen enough, and again, this may be my personal preference, but when I saw what I saw, I just that switch kind of flipped in my back of my head like
Similar. It felt similar.
Yeah.
Well, we will see February 21st,
it's exciting.
2020. Let's just keep on the news train. How about that? Bungie.
Yeah, so this is a really big day. Tomorrow, when this launches, it will have already just come out. Shadowkeep comes out.
Yep.
Destiny's going free to play. But they did an interview with the CEO today, and it came out. And basically, I feel like we kind of knew this, but Bungie is full on coming out and saying we're a publisher now.
Yeah.
And we are not like just going to be making Destiny, and we're also not just going to be making our own games. Like we want to be a publishing company. They're doing a lot of investing in their infrastructure. Their goal is to release at least one new IP by 2025.
Yeah.
And so I was just interested in this because Bungie's always been a developer.
Yeah.
The only time they've ever been independent is when they were making Halo 1. Like, that was it. They got bought by Microsoft immediately. I mean, there were years before that, but they got bought by Microsoft immediately, and then they were always working for Microsoft. And then they got out, and then they immediately got basically half bought, basically owned by Sony, and then or not Sony, by Activision. They spent all this time under Activision, and so now this 6 months or whatever it's been that they've been independent has been cool, but they've still just been a developer. But they came out and were like, we are now publishers, and we're not just going to be only publishing our own things. We want to be a publisher, and so I thought that was kind of interesting. I thought that was kind of exciting because I feel like they're in a good direction right now. They're in a good place. And so I was curious for you guys, what types of things do you think, where does a Bungie as a publisher fit into the current landscape? We're in a weird place.
Yeah.
Bethesda is kind of maybe dying. I mean, they're not saying that they're dying, but they're struggling for their identity. Their whole identity 3 years ago was, we're the single player guys. Well, now what has all their big single player things done? Evil Within, they're not even making another one. They're making some weird Ghostline Tokyo game, and the girl's already left because they're already trying to make it a multiplayer game. What's happening with
that girl left?
Well, yeah, she left.
Did she? The one that was on stage?
She
left.
I
did not know that. Wow.
And they're still making that game. That's going to be a weird multiplayer game now. Freaking Wolfenstein 1, 2 single player. Yeah, it's great. Youngblood, this terrible, weird multiplayer thing.
They are
trying to be Destiny. So Bethesda's in a weird place. They're in a weird place with Doom. We just got done talking about. So Bethesda's in a weird place. Ubisoft is kind of not for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I thought the Destiny thing made me laugh, or not Destiny, when I actually retweeted the headline.
Yeah.
The headline made me laugh because it said, making a new game before 2025, and I'm like, that's a long time. That's a long
really
time.
Capture what was being
but that's
said.
a long time frame. Like, I'd hope so. I guess.
But the only issue
they've changed with Destiny. Activision was pushing for them to make a Destiny 3 this year.
Yeah.
Destiny 3 was supposed to launch in 2019. That was what Bungie ultimately kicked Activision to the curb and said, we're not doing that. And then they just came out and showed a Vidoc, and they had on their wall year 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They said that they're sticking with this. They've got at least 5 more years that they want to do within this game.
Oh,
They are not trying to make any more.
That sounds like a better idea. Why didn't anyone... We laughed about it when it first was announced.
Destiny 2?
With the Destiny... Or it was like, this is going to be a 10-year game. Yeah. And I looked at that and was like, this is a train wreck. And it seems like now it's like, we didn't like it. It's like, really?
Yeah.
I'm an idiot, and I know that. Like,
yeah.
Well,
but
did
it
any
was
red
weird.
flags go out?
Bungie wanted to make a long-term game, but Activision wanted them to have yearly releases like Call of Duty.
Yeah.
It was a mistake from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to judge anything for the last 5 years. Because what the heck, like, they wanted different things.
Yeah,
How were they going
to do
that?
was a nightmare for me.
Didn't it happen with Bethesda and Microsoft when they first made, not Morrowind, what did they make together? Didn't Microsoft help them publish a game? And then Bethesda moved on from them?
Oh, BioWare.
Yeah. Was it BioWare?
BioWare, the Microsoft... BioWare wanted to release Mass Effect on consoles.
Yes.
But PS3... didn't want it or didn't want to help them, so Microsoft published BioWare's Mass Effect 1, and then EA bought BioWare after that.
So, again, I think the identity of a Bungie doesn't align at all with Activision. We knew that.
No. Even when they were back with Microsoft, their identity was never annual release.
But here's my issue.
It was never like COD, bro. I mean, Halo.
So I'm happy now where they're headed. I will say, whatever they're making before 2025, whatever, get away from space. I don't know. Like a Halo, I think you've mastered space. You've mastered
What is their
space.
identity? What did they do before Halo?
They made Oni, they made Myth, they made Marathon. It was first-person shooters in space and third-person shooters.
Though. It's like
that's been their company
Halo
identity.
and Destiny have been their kind of bigger.
That's what
I think with Destiny as an IP, I do not foresee them making another space shooter.
Yeah.
I
if they
think
make
they're
anything,
good on that.
if God help me, if the trailer comes up and I see a freaking horizon and a sun and a freaking galaxy, I can't even remember what this is.
See, I love space, but even I, as someone who loves space and loves like that weird kind of like fantasy space thing that they've been in now for 2 different IPs, I'm ready to see them do something else.
Yeah.
I love Destiny. I'm still having a great freaking time. I'll be there as long as they don't screw the freaking pooch. I mean, I'm going to be around checking that stuff out. I don't know. To me, it's just so wide open. They do action better than anybody. Like action, first person action.
Yeah, they've locked down first person combat.
I don't know. They could get into the strategy space. That used to be what they kind of did. Also, I don't know. I just think it's interesting. I just thought that was interesting. Becoming publishers, like what will be their
Destiny Wars.
They're gonna get their own E3 show.
That's why exactly what I was saying. 2020 Bungie press conference.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it's going to be 30 minutes of
Bungie
the people
bounces.
that work there talking. And they're going to put out games that people are mad about.
We are so excited for 2025, but we're not here to talk about that. Let's show you a Destiny trailer.
We're going to show you all the workers' kids.
Yep, exactly.
For the next 20 minutes.
Do you know what's funny? I know it's a complete side note, but I went back and watched a review of 2017, 2018, and 2019's Bethesda show. Yeah. Each show started the same thing. It was all the families and their kids saw how grateful they are to work at Bethesda. And I sat there and I was like, where's the games?
Yeah.
They announced Starfield or something like that?
If Naughty Dog, they wouldn't do this because they're always attached to Sony's or whatever, but if Naughty Dog showed something with their family, that'd be cool. Because you've earned the right. You've made these games that we love, and it's like, I'm down to see the family in the office. And you know what? And old Ratchet and Clank games and Jack and Daxter games, there was always like Easter eggs, and like I always liked. They were kind of a big deal back then, like Ratchet and Clank stuff, because they had a dog in the office, and you could scooter around. That was when the beginning of all this changing the office. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't always like suits and ties, and it's like that was fun, but it's like when you're putting microtransactions, I don't get deathmats and Doom. Leave the kids at home. I don't care.
It's just sad because again,
kids can't save you.
Next year, it's like even the kids are gonna go, Daddy, I'm sad. I loved Doom.
I wanted to play Doom with you, with our whole front.
But now there's 2 demons.
I have a video idea, but that's if it happens. We'll have to wait and see.
Our group chat just erupted today talking about the Doom.
Well, I feel bad because someone like Alex who absolutely loves the Doom series and. The man literally flipped through the board of 3 hours. He's just like, you know what? I'm canceling this. He's like, but honestly, what did we spend?
I wrote 2 tweets in, and he was already canceling his pre-order.
I mean, I'm just saying, we spent majority of our time in Doom on multiplayer. Yeah.
And the single player is great. The single player is why you buy it, but the messaging around the changes they're making, and then
when I saw microtransactions,
it is not clear.
Here's your game.
I've seen this story before. I saw Battlefront. Hey, we
we have a Star Wars Battlefront 2
packages.
We'll get this game 8 months later, and I'll be telling you it's better.
Jacob will give us. He has the hand on the pulse.
He's like, I'll let you know. Hey,
we'll let you know.
Put it in. We're better now.
We're good.
The real question is, did anybody play Rage? Did anybody play Rage? We're talking about. I was talking about Bethesda.
I wasn't interested in one bit
because they made it look like the most fun game on earth.
Yeah,
that was like 2018.
I just thought of that. You're talking about Bethesda at E3.
Didn't they have WK? What's his name? That one dude come out and sing.
Rage was 2018.
Yeah.
Oh, they showed it. 2018.
Yeah. No, that's when they showed it.
Oh, Andrew WK.
Yeah, Andrew WK came out screen, and everybody out the screen. Everyone in the audience was like.
That marketing was scream in my face, and I'm like, shut up. And then the game comes out.
Piss and pink everywhere.
Yeah. So, no, I didn't play it. I don't remember it. Nobody else does, I guess, either. So.
Not my purview at all. So,
but
that's funny.
If you're a Rage 2 fan, yell at us in the comments, please. Because I want to know who's yelling.
I don't think it is.
But, you know what? Let's enter a positivity mode of games. And that was our first kind of gaming convention.
Yeah, we went to a conference.
Holy.
Yes. We went to Hamilton Game Festival here in our area.
So we live in Ohio.
Yeah,
so.
Right in this area of Hamilton, and
first one ever. Hit like the city of Hamilton, and it was different, boys.
It was. So I actually messaged the person. I was like, "Hey, can we become a part of this? This is close to us. Whatever. Like, we'd love to be. Whatever." And they said, "Yeah, come on. We'll put you with the indie game." So we had like indie game developers.
It was a bunch of indie game developers and us, and with our weird YouTube show.
D&D and like board game kind of stuff, people. And then us with, you can see on the Twitter, the sign I made and me with a wizard hat. Because when they said I was like, we don't have any merch. We don't sell anything. I'm bringing a TV and candy, I guess. And the day before, I was like, I'll put a wizard hat on and I'll predict game predictions for people. That's exactly what
It honestly was kind of cool.
It was a fun time. I will say, going in, I knew this was like experimental. Nothing in this area has had something like
Yeah.
that. So my expectations were met. Like nothing. I never went. Ugh,
Highlight of the show.
Yes. Getting into that. So we set up the TV. We played some of our Dweebs stuff or whatever. Some of the music videos that were in our Dweebs web show. Check that out if you haven't already. Celebration of Games web show.
Yeah.
What it was. Had that playing, and candy we gave out. People, we encouraged people to subscribe. We had a giveaway, whatever. We met. I want to package this with positivity before we get into.
Yeah, we met.
We met a lot of cool people.
Really cool people. The indie developers. There were some cool indie games.
Yeah.
Kickbot.
Kickbot.
I'm all
we
in
want
on
to shout out
Kickbot.
Kickbot, and we want to shout out Frick. What was the other game? Wolf.
With the dog.
The Hounds.
Wolf of Valor.
Hounds
Wolf
of Justice.
of Valor.
Was that what it was called?
Hound of Valor.
Hound of Valor.
Yeah.
I think it was Hound of Valor. Oh, I'm going to feel bad. I'll put it on the screen because I want to shout these guys out. They have indie games coming out soon. We talked with the developers, and they had
Kickbot's really soon.
Kickbot is two
Kick-
buttons.
Yeah,
and
Kickbot. It's literally. It looks like Celeste or like
It's
Meat
listed on
Boy.
Steam too. Like you can already add it to your wish list and whatnot.
But literally, like you're like a little dude, and you hit left or right, and it makes him jump left or right. But he wall sticks everywhere he goes. So you can tap the same button to keep jumping up the same wall. You can slide down the wall, and you just are using these two buttons, and you're just flying through these levels and platforming basically, but against walls instead of on platforms.
It was cute. I love the design of it. I love
Good
the art.
design.
I can really tell he was really getting the end of this is the end product of my game.
Yeah, it was fun.
I instantly thought
I really had a good
this
time.
is a good Switch game. This is a good mobile game in my mind. I was like, if I had this on my phone, I'd enjoy it. Which he's working towards moving that as well. So that game,
the Hound of Valor game, is one guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, I guess he's contracting out for somebody to do the music or whatever.
Same.
But man, for one person to put
the
time to, because
4 years.
I used to do software development, so I'm looking at this going, God, the amount of time.
Yeah.
Building all this stuff, but
Kind of like a cross between like Okami and Breath of the Wild
Yes, it's
looking.
very
It wasn't
similar to
open
that.
world, but it was kind of like open
The art
area.
style. It was very cute. I tell you now that
The style was,
the hound that he had that was playable, I was like, it was really well detailed.
Yeah.
And it was the little things I was really, because it was like a sword fighting dog, and the dog had the sword in his mouth.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's cool, that's clever. Like that's not like the dog was on all fours. I just was like, I'm glad because he was really into. He's like, I love dogs. He's like, I want to make a game about dogs.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is the most out there thought that someone could put together, and it's so cool to see it come together.
Yeah.
He's combining his two passions, dogs and games. So shout out to those guys and Wraith Games. Big shout out to them because they were the ones that kind of put this on.
Yeah.
I think they teamed up with another game show, person that was putting that on in Columbus called GDEX.
Yep.
Yeah.
We want to come to that eventually too. I think that's kind of a bigger one collectively in that area as well. So we might be coming there as well, but in the future. But they put that on with these people, Wraith Games, and they're based here in the area, like Hamilton and stuff. So that's cool. And just shout out to those guys that just took a chance and had this in this area. So I want to package that. So all this good stuff. We met cool people that came up, watched the videos.
If you subscribe to us because you met us there,
so
awesome.
We should have maybe prefaced at the beginning of the podcast because this might be the first thing people see. But thank you for subscribing.
Yeah.
The people we met, the people that are watching or whatever, are cool and stuff. We got to just meet some really nice people. We got to talk about the channel and stuff. Shouts out to you. All that being said, me and Jacob had a very funny experience. There was two that stand out to me. Maybe you have more.
I have a couple.
But one that stood out to me first, and we kept quoting it the whole rest of the weekend we were there, was this. It looked like a mom or a grandma or whatever, and then her daughter and maybe a boyfriend, somebody, and then a small kid came up. The kid was John Cena shorts. We'll just say that. So John Cena shorts came up and was grabbing the candy. That's fine if kids wanted to come up and get the candy.
Well, did you explain what the candy was there for?
You get a video game prediction.
Yeah, the candy was there. If you subscribe, you get a piece of candy, and I put a wizard hat on and predict anything you want. And I'm always right about video games. Mm-hmm. And then if you follow us on Twitter or whatever, you got
a drawing for
you got a drawing, whatever. All that being said, kids would come up and get the candy. It's like, I'm not going to make them.
You're a kid. I want you to have candy.
I want you to have candy. So, that being said, John Cena Swords. That's hard
Say
to
that
say.
3
It's hard to
times.
say.
John Cena Shorts. John Cena Shorts.
John Cena Swords. JC Swords comes up, grabs the candy, whatever. The mom's like, okay, what's going on here? Okay, we're explaining whatever it is. They see the candy and they're wanting to grab the candy, and I was like, yeah, if you guys want to subscribe, we'd appreciate it. And she had saw, okay, subscribe, you get a piece of candy. That's all we're asking.
Yeah.
Just you can unsubscribe later. It's
Yeah,
like,
just
I'm
subscribe
letting you
right
know,
there.
but just do us a solid. We would like to,
Support our
subscribe,
channel. That's why we're there.
and you get a free piece of candy.
And a video game prediction.
This mom says that, oh, he wants to subscribe for candy, whatever, and she was nice about it. There's the daughter, looks at the candy, and immediately when she says, okay, subscribe for candy, she goes, oh, not worth it then.
Yeah.
and we
Right away.
we were laughing like that, just without missing a beat. Oh, not worth it then. That cracked me.
Yeah.
I've never been so backwards all the way. I sat there. It was comical because when she said it, I was just like, I just cracked a smile because I was like, you know what? You're probably right, I guess. That's not
But
the
how
demographic
honest
we're
that
reaching.
was,
Yeah, we're not reaching your demographic, I guess.
It felt like a bad comment on our YouTube come to life. It was really
Yeah.
fun.
Hey, I have plenty of those. That's fine.
Yeah.
We're used to
That's
that.
what doesn't bother me. It makes me laugh that someone can be so brazen to say that.
See, I think one of my top tier, because here's what happened. This is what happened as the day went on. I'm manning the booth. Me and Zach are hanging out.
Yeah.
Travis is now taking his turn checking out the indie games and stuff. So me and Zach are kind of hanging out.
Yeah.
But then nature calls. So Zach's like, look, I got to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I got you. I can talk about dweebs all day. Go ahead. So he checks out, goes find Porta John, whatever he needs to go do. I'm hanging out, and if you watch Dweebs, there's a part in Dweebs where
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Zach is a lawyer representing people who are offended by games. He's like, blah, 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 yelling at the camera. And at that part, Zach has a gun, and he's like, I'll shoot you.
Yeah, he pulls out a gun.
Now, Zach also cared a lot about the gun he had and wanted to make sure it looked realistic and whatever. It's fine. There was a cop there for security purposes walking around, and he stops.
Yeah, so I painted the orange tip. It looks like a legit gun.
It looks like a
pointing
gun.
at the screen.
He's watching Zach's bit about being a lawyer saying, I'll sue you! And he's screaming. And I'm like, and I sat there, I was like, you like video games? And the cop was like, no, not really. Okay. And I'm like, and I'm sitting here sweating because this cop's watching this dude scream at the camera like, I'll shoot you! And I'm like, this is just
To be fair,
not-
I don't say I shoot you, but I do go,
I know,
you
but
need to stop playing
Yeah.
games or whatever.
He doesn't say that, but I'm just trying to prove a point. In that
What a bad
cop's
time.
mind,
Yeah, what a bad time.
He's saying what are these guys doing here,
Yeah.
and what are they doing on their free time?
Yeah.
That was awesome. John Cena Shorts really liked the candy. Kept coming
Yeah, he
back.
kept coming back 2 or 3 times.
At one point, I was like, "You like video games?" All right, it's candy. It's cool because again, the community as a whole, they came out. It was something that they are.
We got to
not
meet
used
some
to.
cool people in the community. One other person, package it. I gotta spread this in positivity, but the negative in the middle. There was another woman on the phone. Came
Oh
up
yeah.
on the phone, and we're standing up. And we're like, "Hey!" And as she's walking up, we know she's gonna grab a piece of candy. She's eyeing the candy, not looking at us.
Yeah.
She's on the phone. Blah blah. Yeah, I will do that. Whatever. Grabs a couple pieces of candy and starts to walk away. And I'm like, "Hey, how are you doing?" "I'm doing great." So I do a thing that I used to do stuff for my job where I would go out and do these booth things too, and it always got to a point where sometimes you'd be like, "Hey, just be a human being. Just look at me and
just
say, hey, have a nice."
acknowledge.
I don't even want you. You don't even have to come to my booth.
Just
Bill,
nod or-
nod. Be a human being. Level 1, be a human being.
Hmm.
And there'd be times where it's like, "Hey, how are you doing today?" or whatever, and they would turn and just not. They would just ignore you.
Yeah.
To the point where they would still be came out, and I would have the conversation with them. I would go, "I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. That's awesome." I would just at that point, I am just lampooning. I'm making so much fun of you.
Yeah.
That is what happened with this lady came up, and I knew what she was doing. I was like, "She's not even talking to us." Like, "Hey, how are you doing?" Whatever. Doesn't
didn't even look
ignores us,
up. She
grabs the
just
piece of
grabbed
candy,
it.
and starts to walk off. And I'm like, "I'm doing great." "Yeah, idiot. I'm doing awesome." I just keep calling her names like, "Idiot. I'm doing so great, idiot." Like, she's not listening.
I think
but
that it's just so people though, because the guy who invited us and we were able to talk to about going to he even sat there and said at the beginning, he's like, "Hey,
yeah, he warned us. He said,
be prepared."
People are going to grab this candy without subscribing, and that is exactly what happened. But you know what? To the people that we talked to, the people that
I hope you guys genuinely
dissubscribed,
enjoyed it.
you're the cool people. We're not talking about you. We're talking about the fucking Dumbos that didn't subscribe.
If
so
the
we can say
dad
anything.
who had 6 kids, because there was a second story,
Yeah.
when he was at the bathroom, there was
Yeah.
a daddy. Lily walked in, brought 6 kids. I was like, oh hey, what's going on? And like literally while I'm talking to him, he's just grabbing candy for his kids.
Yeah, I didn't know about this.
He grabbed the candy, and he had like a kid in a stroller and all this stuff. And he's like counting his kids. He's grabbing the candy. I'm like, getting their kids. I want you to have candy. I want you to have a good time.
Yeah.
But he looked at me. He's like, I hope you know. I know your channel's name. I'll look it up.
Okay.
You know what?
There you go.
Thank you. You know what? Take some more candy. Like, at least you talked to me.
Yeah. He at least knew that like if I'm giving you candy, we're just asking the smallest amount, like to subscribe. Like,
it's
you know what I mean?
Like, when you
and that's
say
what the thing. Like the woman coming up, it's like you can't have the human decency just to say even a thank you or whatever, even though you didn't read whatever to subscribe or whatever. But at least that it's like human decency. You know, just it's very easy, and it's very cringe when you don't.
Life.
We talked about cringe before you came. Yeah. But very cringe.
That's the life of a YouTube star, guys.
It is tough for us.
Yeah, it's very tough.
Also, one last story about Hamilton Games Festival. Shouts out to Travis. I tortured him all weekend.
Oh my gosh.
One of the skits in episode 5 of Dweebs, if you haven't seen it yet, check it out. You'll see what Travis went to go through. Was playing a little bit loudly in the festival area. I was a middle schooler named
my goodness, you know.
And that was in the last day. I took it out on Sunday or whatever.
You play middle school, you got your voice pitch up.
Hey guys,
what's going on? And the first time that plays, Travis can't even be behind. He's like, I have to walk out. And he's like, I hate
it would
this.
be playing.
So we're talking about
it would be
cringe.
too loud to where it's playing through the whole hall.
I was turning it down.
And people would come up to our table when it's my turn to really talk, every time while that was playing. Hey, we're some grown-ass men that make a YouTube channel while he's there with his shirt off in a mirror.
In a jean jacket.
With his voice pitched up. Saying he's cool and whatever else he's saying.
I did laugh when it was like, I would see people look over and it was like, you gotta sing?
Yeah.
You gotta sing?
I gotta sing.
So I got delight out of that. Travis did not, but you know,
it was just like it's just funny. I said I was like, this is not the greatest way to introduce yourself, but honestly,
shouts out to Hamilton Game Festival. Sounds like it might be happening again. I don't know all the details. You know, I don't want to be a leaker, but it could be happening again. And shouts out.
And if you go to game conferences and it's in the Midwest area, let us know the ones you go to.
Yeah.
If you want us to come out to one, let us know.
Tell them to invite us, and they'll see our sign, and we give out candy. They'll have to invite us. So we'll stay on the game train. I'll talk about a little bit about what I played, and we'll just go around talk about what games we've been playing lately. So I beat Xenosaga Episode 1. I beat it on an emulator. I beat it at 2.5 speed. Even the cutscenes I was running.
Oh, wow.
Everybody's speaking like a freaking rat, a mouse voice, chipmunk
That's
voice.
so quick.
That game is fun. I still enjoy that game. I think it has a dark mood. It caught me at the right time in my life. I still have to do a video about like that game in general, like just life-changing game for me in a weird way. But very fun game. It kind of like got me into other stuff at Evangelion. It kind of that kind of atmosphere and stuff was very similar. So beat that. I'm on to Xenosaga Episode 2. Music is phenomenal. Still playing at 2.5 speed. I will not play a turn-based RPG. You will never hear about me playing another game at one point. It got, side note on this, with the 2.5 speed, like fast forwarding.
Yeah.
I was talking with somebody. I had played this for like 2 hours, 2.5 speed. I was talking with someone, and in my head I was like, hurry up. When I was talking to them, because they were like, I was talking at normal speed with them, and I was like, hurry up. Like I was thinking, I was like, because my
Where's
mind,
the fast forward button
when you are going that fast, and like I watch YouTube videos at 2 times speed sometimes, but then if I go to a normal speed, it's like, shut up, like Bank Teller. I want to slap him.
Oh my gosh!
I mean? Like,
wait, you watch YouTube videos at 2 times?
Yeah. I watch a lot of YouTube videos.
I would run out of videos.
Yeah, I'm like, that's not the content there, man.
So I like to watch stuff. I'm a speed watcher. Some people are speed readers. I'm a speed watcher. So, but that was just funny that affected me. I went and I was like, I wish I could 2 times speed.
You're gonna go to McDonald's drive-thru. Hey, can you take my order?
I almost want to like next time I'm speaking to a person. Maybe we can do this at the booth next time. If you're talking to me, maybe I'll video you and walk away, and then I'll watch it later at 2 times speed. What you said to me. Could be.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, could be cool.
Yeah, we'll see how that
goes. But Xenosaga Episode 2, music's great. They changed the art style. Can you think of a game where they completely changed the art style from 1 to the sequel?
Yeah, Xenoblade 1 and Xenoblade 2.
But that was like that's like Final Fantasy where it's like, it's not in the same, this is in the same story and the same characters. They look totally different. Like,
Zelda.
Okay, whatever.
What?
There's like a lot of
I'm
examples.
talking about. I'm talking
When
about.
did I go to Twilight Princess?
But that was like that wasn't in the same world storyline.
Yes, it is. Look at the Hyrule Astoria.
Oh my gosh. I'm talking. This was immediately after the first game ended.
I'm talking about the Fallen Hero.
This is like
timeline.
if Uncharted 2 was shell shaded. Is kind of what this is. If you ever see what Xenosaga Episode 2
What's
looks
John
like.
Cena short sync?
I don't know. He just grabbed all the candy. But very jarring, but still looks good. But
Oblivion was a lot different than Morrowind.
What are you saying?
yeah,
he's so mad right now.
So Xenosaga Episode 2, still cool. Link's Awakening.
Oh, they changed our style on that one too?
They did. They did change the style. It looks a lot
Have
different.
you guys
than
ever
Game
seen
One
where they take a game and just completely change its style
Hey,
and
you know,
re-release
right?
it?
I'm done with these.
Hey, you know what changed?
This is my payback for the
Breath of
middle
the
school
Wild
skit.
to Link's Awakening. That art style
Yeah.
changed completely.
Fix your microphone.
Yo,
boy.
Madden 14 to Madden 15,
Hey,
it was
I'm sorry,
completely
what's wrong?
different looking.
Okay, there we go. Completely.
So Link's Awakening Switch, you can check out. I did a hangout of it where you can see me try to pick up a seashell with a claw machine for about 20 minutes.
Oh,
They
really,
have
for real?
in the original game, they brought this back. There's a claw machine game. You press 2 buttons. It's just like a claw machine.
This
for
sounds
life,
like the
whatever.
weirdest Zelda game.
It is so weird. There is Mario characters in it. There's Goombas.
Yeah, I know
It
something about
is out of this world wacky. It is just a weird. It is up there with Majora's Mask of just weird. But there's a game where you can play like claw machine. Well, now that it's in 3D, they have better physics or whatever. They pick up stuff and stuff can kind of fall out of it or whatever if
Yeah.
you're not on there. And I was picking up the seashell. There's like these seashells you can collect in the game, and something happens, you get more abilities and stuff. You get them. I was picking up the seashell, and it would fall out every single time the way you'd pick it up. And I spent all of my rupees and had to kill all of my rupees, so it was probably a really dumb stream
Sounds like
to
a
watch.
great hangout.
Yeah, it was a great hangout.
I've been throwing my
but I
phone
do.
into
You get to see me very mad, so you could have enjoyed that.
Is it, I heard it is 1-for-1, like the original game. Like, it's
Yeah,
not like
I-
they're reimagining.
Yes, so I think they do some quality of life improvements. There's some stuff they kind of make a little bit easier that was kind of dumb in the first game. So there's little tweaks there, but yeah, for the most part, it's 1-to-1. It's the original. It
That's
holds
awesome.
up. That original game design holds up. One thing playing this though, and I mentioned in the hangout as well, that this game did for me, and Jacob's probably not going to like this, but as much as I'm having a good time, I love all these Zelda games. I'm playing this and I'm getting blocked by a rock, and it's like, okay, I know I need something that helps me pick up.
Yeah.
Okay, there's this other freaking thing. Okay, I have to jump over this hole. I have to get that ability. Coming from Breath of the Wild, this kind of doesn't compute as well.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I want to climb any mountain, I want to go in any direction, and I want to explore. And it's like, frick, I know A, B.
Linear gameplay keeps you on the roller coaster.
I wish they would make that when they first like kind of were testing to make this Breath of the Wild. They made a 2D prototype.
Yeah.
I wish they'd go back and actually just make a 2D Zelda game in that style.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll see that someday. So, all that being said, I love that they took that limitation of the Game Boy. So they had those two tiny eyes and that 8-bit, and they made that in a new reimagining cute. Like, I bought the freaking amiibo. I thought it was so freaking cute. You know what I mean?
It is
Like
Yeah.
that.
cute.
It is so freaking cute, and it is such a fun way to do that. So to remake that game. So, thumbs up for me. Link's Awakening Switch.
I do have a question. From the Game Boy version to the Switch version, did the art style change a lot?
Continue. Go do your thing.
What have you been playing?
Man, I'm sorry. I don't know why it's so funny to me. It's just laughing. I've been playing a lot. Ooh, Vader Immortal Episode 2 dropped.
The experience.
The experience. Yeah, the experience.
Yeah, this isn't a game.
It's experience.
EA has the exclusive game license for Star
Yes.
Wars.
In
I
an
don't know
earlier
if you know.
podcast, we
EA.
went through this whole tirade where this is not a game, this is an experience.
But do you like how we're talking about it on our video game channel like it's a game?
Guys, I'm talking about experiences that I'm going through right now.
So how's the experience?
If you're a lawyer for EA, you didn't hear us talk about this.
Yeah, no, none at all. Man, oh my gosh.
Having a good time.
Been having a great time. So episode 1, they introduced you to like Star Wars, like your lightsaber battles, the lore behind the story you're going through. Episode 2, it's like, all right, you're a Jedi now.
That's cool.
Force.
Can you control things?
Yes, dude. Hey.
Sounds like a game.
That was the experience.
It's cool because I'm like, I have a lightsaber. But I go use the Force. I'm like picking people
Is
up.
this only PC or can I do this on PSVR?
No, only PC. Only Oculus exclusive.
It's gotta come to PSVR.
No, Oculus exclusive.
It'll come.
It's
How
not a
good
game.
is this?
This experience will come.
And let me tell you this. This is by far the best VR experience I've ever had.
Wow.
Ever.
That's
How
cool.
long is episode 1? How
Episode
long is
1's about
episode
an hour. Episode 2 is, I think, about an hour as well. I think they each run an hour. They did say episode 3 experience will be a little bit longer because it wraps up the story.
And that'll be the
And
end.
that'll be the end.
And you said there were some lore
There's
things.
some really awesome lore talking about basically what Darth Vader was trying to achieve in the long run, which we all know is he wanted Padme back.
Yeah.
And this story picks up on that.
Really?
His ever-ending pursuit of how he gets to get Padme back.
That was his goal?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
And it's cool. It all happens.
They accidentally left that out in Empire Strikes Back when he was giving his speech to Luke.
Yeah.
We'll rule together, and I will bring your mother back. Like they just, I don't know, how did they forget? They didn't. They like cut the line or something.
It's weird.
I don't know.
That is really awesome. I'm not making.
I laugh because at episode 3, like he flipped out when the Emperor's like, "Well, you killed her," and he's like, "No," and it's like breaking.
Padme.
Yeah.
Padme in the Invader's voice always made me laugh.
Never laughed.
That's really interesting, though.
I mean, ultimately, it goes into his pursuit. Like he wants to live forever too, but like. Again, there's a really cool lore.
Do we know
behind
who
it.
the butler guy is?
Dude, you gotta play it.
But do we know who he is?
Yes.
Is it who I thought it was?
No.
It's not Snoke.
No. Yeah, it's not.
Is it interesting who it
It
is?
is interesting.
Is it a known person?
If you know a lot of lore.
Oh, interesting.
Like
Sounds like fun.
extended universe lore?
Yes.
Well, I
You're just
think
gonna
I
have to
do.
play it.
You like understand? You know the Old Republic, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, you'll understand this. I had to look it up because I didn't understand it, but I know I do. You'll understand this.
Okay.
You'll be like, "Oh, it's cool."
Okay.
In episode 3, the way that they're leading out to it, I'm really excited. If I think what's going to happen happens. For
That's
the
sweet.
experience. So we'll see.
Man, we got game of the year, we got film of the year, we got show of the year, and now we're gonna have experience of the year.
Experience of the year.
Wow.
Guys, I'm a sucker, and EA stuck it up my butt again. I got Madden 20.
You gotta stop, man. Every time you do
How
this,
does this happen?
every time you do
and
this,
then you get mad at it.
we're another year away from having any
say,
other
I
football
can't believe
game.
they did this, and it's not. They didn't do anything.
It's Madden.
I got a video I gotta show you
Yeah.
where basically he really breaks down like why you should stop buying Madden.
Yep.
Because one day we might get another game of another type.
Guys, I love football too much. I want to play
You're the
football.
reason.
I love football just as much as
So
you.
how's this Madden?
This has to
How's this new
stop.
Madden?
It's better than the last one. Not as good as the one before it. It's Madden.
Isn't this how this keeps going?
Yeah.
I watched
in
these.
some order.
I got stuck while I was cleaning the other day. I was just watching on my TV, I was streaming all these old videos about emulating old sports games, and then there was like an hour documentary about ESPN 2K5, and I was just like, God, I love this. Like, this is such a perfect game.
Such a great game.
That's a top 5 game all time. That game is so good.
It really is.
We go to the arcade. We have every console available to
What
us.
do we do?
What do we do? Me and him fire up ESPN 2K5.
Sat there for an hour.
Played an awesome
Amazing
back and
game.
forth
It was a great game. I
won.
lost.
I won. I was losing, but I came back.
Yeah.
And I used real football logic. I reestablished the run just to trick him, not to actually run it.
Make some play
Hard
action in.
play action. Hit the deep receiver.
It's good football. But I've been playing Madden. I just have to have football in my life. I can't help it. It's just who I am. The only other game I've played, I actually beat another game, was I beat Donut County.
Oh, I love the soundtrack of that game. Never played it.
Absolutely. Well,
Yeah,
2 hours.
the game's great.
Phenomenal game.
Funny game.
Funny game. Hysterical.
Good.
I should play it for
I
how much
beat
I've
it.
listened to the
I
soundtrack.
beat it on the best way possible on the Switch. I think that's the best way to play it. No other way. You play on the Switch.
I think
How
it's
much
every
is it
game.
on Switch?
Yeah,
On Switch
um,
to be played.
Because of that, it led me down to a pipeline where I'm currently playing the Untitled Goose Game, which is
Oh, I
absolutely
wanna play that.
just awesome. It's so cool, these quirky little games. Like, you would sit there and say, like, I could play Skyrim all day, but I'd rather play this. Or I could play Destiny all day.
Yeah, but these little
I'd
games
rather play these
are...
little games for 2 hours. So I've been actually playing a lot of games lately.
Cool.
What's wrong with me?
That's
I like
awesome.
video games
That's great.
and experiences.
Yeah.
I've been playing a game called Get on the Epic Game Store and get the free game that's
too.
up.
I've been playing that.
Nice.
too.
I played it 4 times this month, and I got 7 free games.
Hey,
I got all the bad
Good job.
I've been playing that game for like 6 months, and I've never actually gotten to level 2, which is installing any of them.
Yeah, I'm there too.
I have a freaking awesome library on Epic
I feel
Games
like
Store.
I'm going to do a hangout where I just play those games I have on Epic because I'm building a collection.
Yeah, I've got a whole collection. I've never spent a dime.
Keep talking, I'm going to fix your thing.
So that's what I've been playing. I have been playing the game that shall not be named a whole lot because Shadow keeps coming out.
Oh,
I've been getting
gosh.
ready.
What were you supposed to play?
And then I did decide the other night, I was like, I'm going to play something different.
Finally did it.
Here's what you guys got to understand.
No, this is an addict. I don't even talk to.
When you really love a game,
Don't entertain.
it's hard to step
He
away.
played Destiny 1, didn't he?
Because that might be my second most played game of the
Are
last
you
3 months.
serious?
It's really hard because any time you
We need
spend
an
on
intervention.
another game is time you're not building towards your other goals. in
You
the
are
big
officially
game.
in the grind of multiplayer.
So I did spend maybe 2 hours the other night and then like an hour today on Skyrim.
Oh, okay.
So I played some Skyrim. I picked up my character. It's just I'm in this thing of I don't want to start any big games. We got Death Stranding coming up.
Yeah.
I got some big stuff coming up on my life next month. I'm going to be very busy. Not a lot of video games for me.
So
I
you
am
pick up
getting ready for Shadowkeep comes up tomorrow, and then I am with my raid team. I don't know if I've talked about this.
Oh my gosh, stop this.
This coming
This
Saturday.
is all being cut.
Are you
right
in
here.
Dark Force again?
No. This coming Saturday is the launch of the new raid, Garden of Salvation. There's a 24-hour world's first period.
Wow.
We're going to beat the raid in the
We're
first
going for the
24
world
hours.
record, boys.
Wow.
Starts at 1 p.m. on my fiance's birthday.
Oh yeah, so you can.
And I'm going to be raiding. She
Yeah.
told me I should do it. So I am raiding.
Yeah.
I'm not.
And then I'll spend the rest of the weekend trying to
I'm not
repair my
engaged.
relationship.
I don't have a girlfriend. I've never
Yeah.
been in a relationship.
I booked her a massage and she's done. Like she's over
Hey,
the.
he knows what he's doing, boys.
We're hanging out Friday night, massage and brunch, and then I brought her. She said, "You get me a massage. I don't care what you do the rest of that day." So I'm going to be raiding. But look, we could use your support on Twitch. We're going to be streaming. A guy on my raid team, he's a streamer. He's affiliated with Twitch, whatever. Don't know his name. Follow me on Twitter. I'll put it on the video.
Hard to get to see this,
But we're going to be raiding starting at 1 o'clock on Saturday, and we have until 1 o'clock the next day. So I have 24 hours, and some worlds first take 7 hours. The Last Wish, one of the last ones, took 18 hours. I don't know how long it's going to take.
I want my friend
This
back.
I do know.
I want
know.
my friend back.
I have to finish the raid by 1 because that's when it ends. That's when the 20. But also, I'm seeing Joker at 1:15. So
Oh my
I
gosh.
will be.
Wait, how are
I
you
will
gonna- Yeah, you're
literally be
late.
the Joker when I show up to see the Joker because I will have been up for an ungodly amount of time
my
trying to beat a
gosh.
raid. But raids in Destiny are awesome. You're doing puzzles. You're trying to beat bosses.
He
You're
just said the
getting
word.
stacks. You're running through mazes. You got 6 people. Imagine you have to play an entire Halo game with 6 people and there's puzzles and you've only got 24 hours to beat it. That's what this is going to be. It's freaking awesome unless you're a loser and don't play these games. Well, you've at least rated once.
Hey, you know what?
So I'll give you that.
You know what? It's free now, Zach. What did you say?
Destiny is free now. It's
Hey,
free
Destiny
as of
2?
tomorrow. Destiny 2 is free as of
Listen up.
tomorrow.
I smell a hangout coming on.
We will do a hangout. I said if
It's going to
free,
be
if I
the
get on
first ever DweeBros raid.
Bro, I
DweeBros
want to do a DweeBros raid so
The
bad.
first
He can
ever.
play Leviathan.
The first ever DweeBros raid.
He can play
there. I'll log into
Leviathan.
my old character. Is it still there or did they destroy
That's
it?
Destiny 1.
Destiny 1, bud.
Okay.
New lore.
They didn't convert it over?
Does it have to be a certain
No,
light start
you
in
didn't.
order to play the raid?
No, that's with new light. Everybody's 750 now starting.
But you
We're
get
in.
in and just raid with us.
Okay.
You could literally get in and just raid. You might want to get a few guns.
If I,
I'll get you a few guns.
If I come
Give
in,
me your account and I'll
we
get
have
you.
to have
He's like, I'll get you the gun.
I'll get you the guns.
we have to have a Destiny-less podcast coming up soon.
November because I'll be playing Death Stranding.
Okay.
So all that being said, I was trying to talk about Skyrim and I still wound up just talking about Destiny.
Jeez,
but
yeah.
big things are happening.
Okay, do you like Skyrim?
It's fine.
It's 7 years old.
I finished the lockpick guild thing,
Lockpick
so
guild. That's what
I
they're
picked
called.
the final lock. I returned the skeleton grave key to the god of the Daedric hose, and
That's what they're called.
and now I run the tavern. So
Was it worth it?
yeah, it was fine. So now in Skyrim, I've done everything except finish the main story and the Dark Brotherhood. So
Nice.
I want my friend back.
You're saving the Dark Brotherhood because they're always the best.
I'll do the Dark Brother. Yeah, I actually did. I did the quest lines in order of what people said was the worst all the way up through the
Yeah,
best.
Dark Brotherhood is always the best.
So I'm going to do the Dark Brotherhoods, and then I'll probably finish that story, and then I will probably be done with Skyrim. It's taken me a whole long
Thinking
time.
up to the point where
My goal is
to
to finish Skyrim just in time to boycott 6 for the microtransactions and the boosters. That's my goal.
You're right on time. You're killing it.
I'm making great time. So Skyrim, Destiny 2 Forsaken, rest in peace. Now we're Destiny 2 Shadowkeep. The moon's haunted. Everybody's coming along, whether they want to or not. Jacob,
Yeah, I don't want to.
you're even going to be able to have an energy gun in your power slot.
Oh my gosh!
You're going to be
hit
free.
it off.
We're going to run into the comp playlist.
I'm at half sale right now because what you just said. Oh my goodness!
So
You know what? This is what games are like meant for. He finds so much joy in
Yeah.
this. Why
But-
rip him apart from his joy?
Well, I'm retiring from video games and I'm moving on to TV shows.
Oh, well, that's just
Not in life, just in this podcast.
Oh,
good.
So TV, I want to continue the dot hack sign conversation. So like I said, I was a kid when I enjoyed this.
Yeah.
And I still do. I'm about halfway through the show. It's 26 episodes. That's it. It's about this you're in this kind of MMO kind of world.
Yeah.
But there's somebody weird that can't log out. His name is Tsukasa.
Sounds like me and Destiny.
Here's what I kind of Tsukasa, Travis, T in the name, Now that I'm an adult, and I remember even feeling this way as a kid, I think to a point, but as an adult, I'm watching the show. Shows have progressed where there's multiple storylines, there's multiple characters or whatever. This show, this guy can't log out, this teenager kid named Tsukasa, and he's kind of a rude kid. He was always kind of rude when I was a kid watching or whatever, but now I'm watching this going, oh God, because he can't log out, he keeps doing weird things, he has these weird abilities, and everyone in the show, every single dialogue is about Tsukasa. Why can't he log out? I'm worried about Tsukasa.
Yeah, it's so one-dimensional.
I'm worried about it's so one-dimensional about this kid. I still have nostalgia for it. I still don't hate it, but as an adult, I'm groaning every episode.
Yeah.
What is happening with the Wave Master Tsukasa?
Yeah.
And then it cuts to another character. I know where Tsukasa is. Every single episode, it's like, God, this guy has a freaking, I wonder why this guy has,
Tsukasa.
everyone cares about Tsukasa. I wonder why he's such a jerk to everybody.
This, the Tsukasa.
Feels like an only child.
Where's my Tsukasa?
That's what he really feels like. So, still going through that show. I don't know if I recommend it if you want to keep your sanity. I'll say watch Evangelion instead. But if you were nostalgic about it, join me on the couch and we'll watch it and groan together.
Jeez.
Righteous Gemstones is the next show I've been watching. HBO. It's from Danny McBride, who did Eastbound and Down and Vice Principals that you might have saw before.
I like Eastbound and Down. He's like a former baseball player.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Vice Principals it's about Vice Principals.
Yeah, he becomes a vice principal, or he's vying for a vice principal.
So what's the premise of
spot.
Righteous Gemstones?
So the story of Righteous Gemstones is that Danny McBride, and then he had the guy from Workaholics, I don't know his name, is also on there. And they bring some other characters. They like to bring back those same actors from Vice Principals and Eastbound and Down. They're great actors. Really funny. So Righteous Gemstones is about a family of televangelists.
Oh, wow.
And it's about televangelists that are those ones you see in the news with 30 private planes and stuff.
Oh.
This show opens with a shot of them coming back from Africa or some mission trip. They come back. They are each on different planes, these private planes, and they're called the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
I'm so angry right now.
I gotta watch this.
And
This is so cynical.
this show is so good.
Somewhat
And
true.
there was even an interview. They were like, because it's like, could this be touchy? Are you making fun of Christians or whatever? And he's like, the people we are making fun of the people that deserve it. He's like, there are people that are doing good and Christians that are like, because they talk.
But this is real life.
This is real life.
There's been a bunch of stuff coming out about what's his name?
Joel
No, the guy, the president of Liberty University, Jerry Falwell Jr.
I didn't hear about
He's
this.
a pastor, and he's pastor of the church at Liberty University, and he's the president of the university. This dude gets away with so much crap. Yeah. His son has posted pictures on Instagram with piles of money on a bed and guns and stuff. He's been photographed in every club in Miami. The pastor has, dude, like the old man.
Righteous Gemstones.
He gets photographed in these clubs, and then like he'll get approached about it by the media, and they'll just like, they go full like conspiracy mode of like, that's not me, and it's like very clearly him. Like they're so fake. They steal so much money from the students. They're so corrupt, and they just get away with everything.
So they
get away with everything.
That's what the interview was about. Was like the interview was about. He was like, we're not making fun of like Christians. We're making fun of
the people that deserve
it. The people that deserve it, and they go hard on them to an extreme. It's so funny. Like they have the private planes. They have whatever. So
man, I gotta watch
this. The show is so freaking funny. It is actually, and Vice Principal was kind of this. Eastbound and Down, I think, has the highest highs. It's very funny. It has. I've laughed more, I think, at Eastbound and Down. Vice Principal, I've laughed a lot, but the story is like, you care about the characters. Yeah. It kind of brings in some drama, and you're like, I care about the characters, and I'm not laughing, but I legitimately am like wanting to know where these characters go. That is more like Righteous Gemstones is more of that. Right up, in the same.
Where do you watch this? HBO Go?
HBO. Yep, it's on HBO. I'm having a good time. The actors are great. So this kind of the story starts where a tape gets leaked of Danny McBride. It plays one of the sons. So it's the Gemstone family. He plays one of the Gemstones, where he's like ultra rich, like televangelist, whatever. And Danny McBride's one of the sons. A tape comes out where he was snorting cocaine, and there was topless women around. And so this starts with, how are we going to like quill this, and like the intricacies of this. Funny freaking characters, so many good moments, like almost puking laughing in this past episode.
I'm gonna have to watch it.
So very funny. Last one I watched, I'm only a couple of episodes in. Me and my wife were watching it, show called Barry. They just had the second season this year or whatever, so we're trying to catch up. I'm not sure what I think about it yet. There are good parts to this. There's sometimes the humor is like not really.
What's the premise?
The premise to the show, it's a kind of drama comedy as well as Righteous Gemstones.
Yeah.
It's about a assassin who moves to LA and gets wrapped up in like acting and wants to start to like become an actor, like kind of gets in that world, but he is still an assassin and he's expected to kill people, but like live in this world of being acting. So there's some funny little circumstances that are kind of twisted in that, and there's some good stuff in that, and there's great actors as well, and they got a great cast. So a couple episodes in, I'm mixed on some stuff. The last episode I had a good time with, so stay tuned for more stuff on that. So that's all I've watched.
I watched the movie. I watched the movie.
I don't think I've watched any shows. I don't think I've been watching anything.
Yeah, I don't watch TV. I watch a lot of YouTube.
Oh yeah, if you're watching movies going on, what's anything?
You guys ever seen the movie called Stay Alive?
Oh no,
it's a video game movie. You're kidding me?
I've not heard of this.
You haven't seen it?
Stay Alive.
It's a video game horror movie.
I've not heard of this. Oh, when did this come out?
Oh, dude, like 2005.
Oh, maybe I know.
All right, so I actually,
you're pulling one out of the bread basket.
I actually watched it the other day.
How did you get onto this?
I was on YouTube and I saw a clip because it has the guy from Malcolm in the Middle in it.
Oh.
And I was watching Malcolm in the Middle skits, and I was just laughing. So I was like, "That's a funny show, huh?" And I think it's Frankie Muniz. How do you pronounce it? Yeah. He's in that movie.
Okay. Stay Alive.
He's like a B-rated actor almost. C close. But anyways, it's a movie about like these kids. If they play a video game, they die in the video game. They die in real life.
Oh gosh.
And the only way you can win is you have to beat the video game, and then solve the puzzle in real life.
Sounds like such a 2005 movie.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
There was an X-Files episode.
Was it good? Fun? Cool?
Yeah.
Bad?
If I had to give it out of 10, I'd give it like a 3.
We're the only podcast right now, probably on the internet.
We're talking about Stay Alive.
I'm just saying, it was
this
really
is the
funny.
best Stay Alive podcast.
If you want a good laugh, look it up because the game they're playing for 2005 looks like it's made like in the early 90s.
Oh, that's awesome.
And they're using like a PlayStation 2 controller too. It's like the whole like they're like, we'll just film it. They won't get it. And you're like, you're a
I hate that in movies when they have like Superbad did that. he's playing Gears of War or something like that. He's playing with the PlayStation controller. It's like, just get it right. Just put the minimum effort.
It's so bad. I think that the people on set purposely do that.
Yeah.
I think they're purposely doing
They know what they're doing.
Because even a good example...
You have to go out of your way at times.
A good example of that, not exactly to that point, but I think knowingly was trolling, was in 1 Hour Photo with Robin Williams. Somebody he runs it's in a department store. He runs like the photo part of that. But a kid comes up to him with an Evangelion figure, like in the movie. And Robin Williams goes, "Oh, is that one of those Evangelion figures?" And he's a big fan of Evangelion, so he knew he was trolling. Like,
God, Robin Williams had the best taste, man. That's so awesome.
That's it.
I watched a trailer. I watched the trailer for El Camino.
I did not
movie.
watch that.
Oh,
I'm trying to stay blind on that too.
Oh my
Bro,
gosh.
the trailer. Here's the thing.
I'm trying to stay blind because that's coming out in like a week.
That's probably a good move. I think this trailer is a work of art. It doesn't reveal any of the plot.
Maybe I'll watch the trailer.
There are no lines. There are no reveals. It's really just shots of like the gorgeous environments.
Okay. You're just like,
the first trailer that came out is a one-shot trailer. It's like a teaser.
Yeah.
The second trailer that came out, watch it because it's worth it. It just like is this amazing touching music, and you have no idea. I have no idea what's happening in this movie.
Cool.
I'm
excited for that. I was thinking about that.
I was excited. This trailer, this looks like a masterful movie.
Yeah,
masterful movie.
That'd be cool.
So
I have no expectation for that. So that'd be cool.
That's it though.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for watching. The spookiest month is upon us, October. I'm going to be doing some Devil May Cry 3, playing some of that. Maybe some other spooky games.
He's going to do some Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh, God. But Devil May Cry 3, definitely this coming Thursday at 6:30 p.m. And I'm joined by John. John will be back.
Nice.
My friend John played Devil May Cry 2. That was not good. But he brings a masterful kind of understanding of Devil May Cry. That
I heard as they add numbers, the game gets better.
I think that might be true. But he'll be back for that. Maybe we'll see some other people. I don't know. But we're playing Devil May Cry 3 this Thursday, 6:30 p.m.
Awesome.
Devil May Cry maybe through the rest of October. Keep with the devil theme, Devil's Night, Halloween.
But if you're going to find out, the only way you're going to find out if you don't follow us on Twitter.
Yes, follow us on Twitter, DweeBoYT. Follow us just like the John Cena shorts kid did.
If you follow us on Twitter, you'll be able to find out when this Destiny...
You got to see this Desiree... Travis_McCoy. Come check me out.
I think that's how we close out 2019.
I think so.
I'm having an epiphany.
Okay, you want to do a Destiny raid?
I think this is how we close out 2019.
I think you would like. How
long does the raid last? We should do an extra long thing.
We could do Leviathan.
If we be a long one.
Leviathan, we could get it done in 3 hours.
Let's do a 3 hour, 4 hour.
I beat Leviathan in 45 minutes with my friends where we all knew what we were doing.
We're going to do a 4 hour
There might be
hangout.
one we could carry you, too. So, yeah.
We're going to do a 4 hour hangout.
Get your pants on.
Let me think about which raid would be the best one to do. I can 4-man Scourge of the Past. So
wait a second. Is there a way that you could bring your computer and I could be playing on this computer and then we could put Jacob over here?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, mother.
We could just film a wide shot of all of us.
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the only way you're going to find out this is happening, you got to give us a follow. You got to subscribe.
DweeBoYT on Twitter. Check out the...
100% we could do that.
Check us out on there.
It's been 3 years in the making right here.
You can get this game for free on Steam, bro. And you can cross-save with your PS4. So... if you like playing on Control, you can play on your PS4.
Maybe I'll play
you can
on
also
PS4.
hop over to Steam and play with us on there.
Lots of options. So, thanks for joining us. I'll go out with one of the coolest tech deck tricks of all time.